So we have Sierra. Hi guys, I'm Ree.
I'm Mark.
And this is the Need to Know. We have a wonderful topic. The poll this week was miscommunication versus unhealthy and healthy relationship. No, yeah. I thought I said healthy relationship. Okay, so boom. Which one won? Which one won?
I was miscommunication.
I don't know why, because first of all, y'all need to know what's healthy and unhealthy in a relationship, okay? Because I feel like y'all be in these badass relationships and y'all just be doing bad. Like, y'all shouldn't have nobody talking down to you like you great. Just know you great. Let's go. What's the miscommunication? Boom. Let's start like that.
All right, it's like when one person is saying something and then another person is like hearing a different thing. So it's like both people don't have the same connection in terms of talking. So like I would say, yo, meet me downstairs, and then I say like, oh, meet me downstairs at 2 o'clock, and the other person will hear, yo, come downstairs
at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, get ready at 2 o'clock. And it's like, yo, bro, I said meet me downstairs.
So we're talking about miscommunications and relationships. So let's talk about what was misunderstood on your part in your relationship, like a past relationship.
Alright, boom. I got one. No shade. It's all love. There was a girl that I was dating in college. She didn't go to my college, but it was like after high school. She went to my high school, but alright, there was a girl I was dating while I was in college. We had gotten back together after a recent breakup. So when we was together, like my initial thought was, we're back together, like we're taking things slow because, obviously the last time we was together it didn't work. So we have to fix things before, doing big things. So it was like the first week of us getting back together and I had made the mistake. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get you a promise ring. And like without even thinking, I'm like, whoa, that might be a little too fast considering you just got back, in a relationship with her. So like it was like a week or two before, and I had texted her. I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm moving a little too fast. Like let's slow things down a bit. Like let's not do a promise ring. Let's just go out to eat and stuff. And she had taken it as, oh, I'm breaking up with you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was like, it was kind of bad on my part because I did mess up as well. It wasn't just on her. Like the whole promise ring thing was just way too fast, and she had taken it as like I'm breaking up with her. Like I don't want her no more. And it was like that's not what I said. It was just more about like just slowing things down. So
I feel like with me, it was more like people don't understand like my personality as a whole. Like boom. So we're friends, right? They don't understand that like I would have male friends that I do. Like my best friend is a male, Shamar's a male. Like people I work with, they're guys. People like I go to school with, they're guys. Like people I know through high school, like So like I'm not saying like all my friends are guys, but like I would have conversations, And just because they would say something and it's not like appropriate doesn't mean like I'm gonna respond back with that same energy. And I feel like you have to trust the person to be like, okay, well either they need to dub it or they need to it's not that deep. Me, I don't really care about certain shit. Like I'm just that type of person. So I feel like if you come and address me like, oh I feel some type of way, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna dub it and that's that. But I wouldn't want you to make a big deal about it. I feel like when you make a big deal about it, you come at somebody like too harsh, it just like escalates a problem that doesn't need to occur. So I feel like that's a big miscommunication right there, when you don't just address your problem like this is how I feel about something, let's sit down and talk about it, how can we fix it, how can we change it, how we can move in a different direction. Once you start being like, oh, you did this with this person, like it's a whole argument. What is the problem with miscommunication when you're in a relationship? Okay, continue. No, go. How is it impossible? So let's talk about perfect communication. All right, let's talk about. I got you an example of perfect communication right now. So boom. Me and the person that I talk to, right? We have like, I'm not saying it's perfect, but we have like good communication where it's like, if there's a problem, like we would then be like, yo, we gotta talk about about this, or oh, I seen this, I seen that, this is how I feel about it. And it's dead not an argument. It's a simple, normal, like, oh, how me and you will have a conversation. How me and you will have a conversation. And I feel like, you know, people have to work on, you know, not raising their voices with each other, not being disrespectful, not coming across too harsh. Like those little things right there causes a argument. Like that causes you to escalate your voice. And I feel like once you go past the boundaries of this is a conversation and not an argument, that's when you get bad communication. Because you could, like, you know, even when you talk to your parents, like, you have bad communication. When you start arguing with them, it's the same thing, you know? Like, y'all dead argue with each other, y'all raising y'all boys getting disrespectful, that's bad communication as well. You at school when they telling you 5 different things, that's bad communication as well. So I feel like once everybody's on the same page, and at least I'm not saying you have to agree with them. That's the thing too. A lot of people be like, you have to agree with each other. That's not true. You just have to understand. That's the thing. You have to understand where they're coming from. Once you understand somebody and be like, okay, you know, this is how you feel about it, that's all you gotta do. Is you just can't be like, oh no, you're wrong. That's where the argument escalates. Like,
yeah, to piggyback off what Serena said, and I do agree with Gabby, like, there is no such thing as perfect communication. But in terms of relationship, I feel like that's where compromise comes from. You have to understand that the person you're with is not going to agree or understand everything you're saying. So in a sense, you have to kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, because then it's going to make the other person feel like they don't know what they're doing or thinking, but you got to like twist what you're saying, or like basically compromise what you're saying so that the other person will understand. Because for example, you could be with your girl and your girl's like, yo, that friend you have, like that friend that's a girl that you have, like, I don't like her. Like, in your eyes or in your ears, you may have heard that, oh yeah, at that, like, you can't hang out with her. When in reality, that's not what she's saying. She's just saying, like, she doesn't like the way she moves. Like, there's no, like, you could still be friends with her, don't get me wrong, but like, when you have to compromise with your girl, you have to understand that, you know, she doesn't like the way that girl moves, so you kind of have to back off with that friend. So say, for example, you hang out with that friend like 4 times a week, try cutting it down like 2 times a week. So even though you may not understand why your girl is saying she doesn't like her, at least you're compromising, you know, the fact that, I kind of lost my train of thought. Wow.
I feel like with that though, I feel like you have to ask, like, oh, what's the problem? You can't just be like, oh, like, there's a reason why she's saying she don't like her. There's a reason why, oh, you would be like, oh, I don't like that person, I don't like him, like, If you say the reason why, as long as, like, I feel like once it's been said, it's like, okay, well, you know, now I have to back off. You say what you do, what you just said, but it has to be known. I cannot read your mind. You cannot read my mind. Like, we don't know, we don't have telepathic thoughts and powers that we can do these things that you think that we can do. And girls think, I'm not gonna lie, girls think that you can our minds can get read all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when it comes, well, me, I can't lie. I wear my emotions in my face. I can't hide that shit if I wanted to. Like, if I'm tight, that's it. Like, I'm tight.
But that's the thing. Like, if you with somebody, like, I guess for a long period of time, you'll understand like how they're feeling. Like, they don't even have to say anything to you. Like, for example, like if I'm with a girl and I'm with her for like 6 months, like, if I see her face like is dead straight, I understand like she's not happy right now, and something that I'm doing is causing that. So what I would do is I would stop what I'm doing and ask her, like, babe, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Are you, like, is something wrong? Is it something I'm doing? And if she says no, I mean, for guys, you know, girls are gonna say no, but they're still upset. So you kind of have to, like, that's where experience comes in. Like, you kind of have to know. For me, it's like with females, like, you have to understand that they're not always gonna speak up. And same thing for guys, but you have to know the person you're with. Like I can tell when Serena's upset. Like, she has a straight face, like she's blinking mad hard, like, you know it's a wrap, bro. Like, calm down, take it back, fix it. So.
Yo, that's mad funny. I cannot hide my emotions though. Like, you should see, like, the day of the showcase, I cannot hide my emotions for nothing. Like, I wasn't even aware that you could see that I was tight. Like,
funny thing is too with Serena, it's like, yo, she'll have a straight face and blinking, and at the moment you talk to her, she's like, nah, cause that ass, like,
Nah, if I say nah, that ass, like, I'm tight, like, because I have a whole story I want to share with you, like, I'm tight. What's the problems that you have in your relationship? Any type of relationship, it could be like a friendship, it could be like a parent thing. Like, these relationships have communication problems. So okay, we can do that. One thing, okay, boom. For example, you know, we had to talk about ourselves. So me and my mom is way older than me, obviously, but I'm also her youngest child. And again, me and my sister and my brother, we mad years apart. Just know we mad years apart. Like, not the same. Didn't grow up in no type of same timeline, nothing like that. The way they grew up and how they was raised is similar to me, but again, I had a little bit more freedom because again, I had more friends than my sister and my brother did. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have as many friends as I don't like that. Sorry, guys. But the way I would talk to my mom when I was younger and how I talk to my mom now is two different things. Also, if you have a young parent, like if they like 30 something, like early 30s, mid 30s, something like that, and your dad like in high school, I mean you finished high school or that time. I had a lot of friends that their parents was like that. And they was mad cool. Like, they had mad leeway. I don't know what they was doing with their lives. I was like, y'all are wildin'. They was out all the time sleeping at their boo house. I'm like, y'all are wildin'. And I had the friends that they was the same situation, but they was like, their parents were strict or whatever. So, you know, it depends on like your parent and if they don't want the same thing for you that they went through. Like, especially if it's a young parent and they like in their 30s. But if they old, like, but you still have to have that thing where you could be like, yo mom, yo dad, let me talk to you. I feel like that's really good because number one, your parents, your family is your number one support team. If they don't support you, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm really big on that. I grew up like that, so I can't. If you tell me certain things, you know, I be arguing with people. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm like, I didn't grow up like that, so I can see what you're saying to me. But I don't understand that because I feel like your family is your number one support team, especially your parents. So if you can't sit down and talk to your parents about something, you just gotta work on that, honestly.
With that, I feel like, well, me and my mom's like, I used to talk to her a lot about like a lot of things, but I think as I got older, it became more of like, I have to handle this myself. Like, I can't necessarily go, it's not that I don't want to go to my mom's and talk about things, but it's just with the age gap, like me, I'm 21, my mom is like 51. So her generation was totally different from today, considering one.
And he's Haitian.
Yeah, and I'm Haitian, so.
So they be on a different type of time, like.
So like with my mom's generation, like she didn't grow up with social media, she didn't grow up with technology, so when I tell my mom something that happened on social media, it's like she has no idea what I'm talking about.
She's like, what are you talking about?
Because in her teenage years, it was all about, you know, guys trying to talk to her and, you know, relationships and, you know, her wanting to leave her mom's and be on her own. So in that sense, that's what she gets from me. But everything else that happens to me is totally different. Like, it's like a whole different language. And then on top of that, like, it's my mom, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a guy and she's a female. So things that happen to me as a male, I can't necessarily go to her to talk about because, you know, that's where dad will come in and talk to me about that. So with me and my mom, it's like, I don't want to say it's miscommunication, it's just more of like understanding where we come from. Like, and I think that goes with like most teenagers in the world. Like,
they can't relate to their parents.
It's like, don't get me wrong, like we'll talk to our parents about what's going on because, you know, it's everyday life. But in terms of like going through teenage and young adult things, like there's really, in terms of family, there's really nobody to talk to about what you're going through, mainly because everybody's on a different path of life. Like, you'll have a cousin who's like 35 and they grew up in the 80s. And then you got a mom who's like 50, and then you got like a younger brother who's like 10. So like nobody really is on your level in the sense of where you come from.
Now, one thing that I have to say that I go through is like, you know, me and my mom is like, I feel like we close like now that I'm older. But like, we also have like that communication where like I can sit down and talk to you. I talk to my mom about mad stuff right now. Like, if I don't tell my mom, I be like on some oldie, I'm Aggie, and I don't want to talk to nobody type of. Cause like, even though my mom is older, she dead know what I'm talking about. And now that I'm older, I be like, wow, she dead knows what I'm talking about. Like, especially when it comes to like friendships, like the whole situation I had recently, you know, during the summertime. Only people who know about it would know about it. And like, I don't talk to a certain person no more because like whatever happened. And I mean, I was blacking like my mom was my friend. Like that's how I was talking to her. She's like, well, you need to relax because you're stressing yourself out for no reason. And I'm just like, you right. But I said what I had to say and it's still being escalated, you know. But she was like, you know, you cannot change nothing. You have to let it go and you have to get over it. I was like, yo, that's what everybody kept telling me. And I'm just like, yo. But I guess, you know, you have to hear it from your mom to be like, oh.
I think that's where parents come in the most. It's like, they may not relate to, you know, social media and technology, but in terms of like everyday life, like friends stabbing you in the back or like you gotta pay some bills, like they know what that is because like when you was younger, like you're not thinking about adult life, like you're just having fun and chilling. But when you turn into adult life, it's like, all right, now my mom's and my pops can relate to me because they're not necessarily going through the same thing right now, but they went through what you're going through right now. So
funny. I think in school, I feel like it's just like how you explain something. Like when it comes to school, if you don't explain it clearly or like critically, I should say critically, then it's just like never gonna happen.
Yeah, pretty much the classrooms. I think it's exactly what Serena said. Like and what we said in the beginning is it's all about different lenses. Like everybody learns differently. You know, some people learn through like lectures, some people learn through pictures, some people learn through like actually reading and like writing. So with teachers, I don't think it's their fault that not every kid gets what they're saying, but they also have to do a little compromising. Like, yo, you have to understand that not everybody's gonna understand exactly what you're saying. So maybe try teaching the same thing in a different way.
Okay, guys. So we have our wonderful heated topics. I have like 5, just so you know. So it was this question, right? It was like a picture. I'm gonna send you all of them. It was a picture. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and you had to pick the order of like which one goes first in sex. But that wasn't my question I asked though. I said which one comes first? Do you give head first or you have sex first? So my wonderful people here, all was like head comes first and then you have sex, and then 3 people was like sex and then head. I don't really know like what's the difference because it's just like your voice. Everything's just gonna happen regardless, like, you know, because sometimes, you know, you're in the mood to do this first or you're in the mood to just be like, nah, let me do this first. Then you be like, ooh, let me do that. So I feel like, oh shit, I feel like it's all like your mood, like for that particular day.
Yeah, I agree. I've done both ways, so I think it just depends on like what type of feeling is going on. Like if you want the head first, you want the head. If you want sex first, you want sex. But to be honest, like I think most times it's usually head and then sex, because it's like you kind of most times you want to get in the mood first before it actually happens.
Why you gotta do that to get in the mood though? Why can't I just be in the mood already and be like, alright, I want to do this, like.
Nah, I mean like it's kind of the same like nobody just goes into sex like that. It's more like, yo, you know, we feeling each other, you know, we kissing, we, you know, gripping and all that. And then,
gripping?
I don't know, like.
Yo, Gabby, what is that?
You know what I mean? Like you kissing and like you grabbing her ass or like
I'm crying.
She's like slowly moving around you and then poof, it happens.
I'm done. Okay, so I'm gonna do, cause we have 5, I'm gonna do the shout outs like in between like that. So this one goes to trap in, literally trap in. So it's trap.in. It's gonna be in the screen for you guys. The second one I had was, who masturbates? Okay, this was the question. Who masturbates for pleasure anymore? We out here masturbating to sleep. I thought that was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. But is that true though? So 9 people said pleasure and 4 people said sleep. What do you feel?
I mean, masturbation is for pleasure. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I do both. Like there's times where I've masturbated and there's times where, you know, I'm trying to sleep. So Yeah, but I feel it's more for pleasure. Like, I mean, damn.
I'm crying. So this person, I'm gonna give it to, his name is Trigger_Daddy. So this one was, what sex is better? It's 7, okay guys? So we're gonna tell you which one is better for us. So it's I miss you sex, drunk sex, cheating sex, both of us ain't shit sex, high sex, this the last time sex, makeup sex. Ted, the question was which one is better, but we're gonna put it in order. Well, I'm gonna do high sex is the best, but that's my top one.
Damn, I think, to be honest, I think I miss you sex is the best.
Gabby, what you think? Drunk sex. Yo, see, I think y'all need to have drunk and high sex and then have both intoxicated sex. And y'all tell me which one is better, because high sex is the best. I'm telling y'all, that's a different type of tingling in your body. Like, I'm telling you, it's my good. All right. Everybody just was like, okay, listen, Pat was on some weird type of timing. He said like 4 different ones. I'm gonna go with his first one. He was like, I miss you sex. This other person was like drunk sex. And then the last person said, we ain't shit sex. I don't know what kind of sex that is. Like, what is that? Like, comment and tell us what we ain't shit sex is, because I sure don't know what we ain't shit sex is. So, the one who said the we ain't shit sex, his is just Aladdin_, so you're gonna have to underscore. My husband cheated while I was pregnant. We divorced. He married his side chick, and now I'm having an affair with him. So the question was, are they living their best life or are they wilding?
Yeah, well,
I think they living their best life.
Really?
Yeah.
I think because
the fact that why are you staying with him in the first place? Didn't y'all just get divorced? But they living their best life because clearly they wanted to be together and they should have just stayed together. I'm crying. So this is my wonderful friend. So it's 2 underscores and Lika. So that's her name. I'll put it on the screen. It's Mad A's. It's Mad A's here. So if the person that I'm having a baby with whatever has another girlfriend and she wouldn't be in the delivery room while I give birth to the baby, should I leave her outside or should I bring her in the delivery room? Like, why am I bringing her in the delivery room? That's not you not my man. Like, you not my friend. Like, what the hell? So I'm leaving you outside. Everybody said leave her outside.
I mean, no, I could see why people would say like she should come in, because depending on the type of relationship you have with her, like if y'all cool, then it's like okay, then maybe. But in terms of the situation, like that's not your child, and that's his and hers, so they should be the only ones in here. So.
But this one, the shout out goes to Jocelyn Barrow. I'm gonna put it on the screen for y'all. This is mad shout outs. Okay, so when voting for the topic for this week, so it goes to Pesco Stacks. I think that's what it is. We're gonna have it on the screen for y'all because I'm not gonna remember none of this. So that's our wonderful show for today. We talked about miscommunications in relationships. So make sure, if you have anything you want to share with us, you comment below, you tag us, you DM us, we shout you out.
Until next episode, you can follow me at _wewant.moore on Instagram and Twitter, and wewant.moore on Snapchat.
Make sure you follow the Wonderful Shows page on social media. It's tntkshow on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And of course, you can follow me on social media. My Instagram is _fuckroses with a V, not a U, and my Snapchat and my Twitter is fuckroses with a V, not a U. As always, make sure you like, you comment, you share, subscribe.